Okay. So let's start with your introduction first. So today we have with us Tara Bhuyan ma'am. She is a fashion designer by profession, was born and brought up in Assam, the place which has given her a lot of exposure to the rich culture and unique attire. She left home at the age of 16 and came in Mumbai to pursue her college. Thereafter, she worked as an investment banker for 2 decades in Toronto. It was only in 2014 that she got a first break to choreograph a fashion show in Toronto, which was a turning point in her life to become a fashion designer. Post that, she also did a few shows in New Jersey, Toronto, and in Washington, D.C. for Assam Convention 2018, and in Sydney, Australia in October 2018. Then she launched her brand, Woven Dreams of Assam, for the first time in the capital city of India, New Delhi. In all these shows, her uniqueness stood out with the Western and traditional dresses using mostly customized weaves, Assamese material like Muga Silk, Assam Silk, and Eri. And most of her fabrics are woven by the women from the villages of Assam. So thank you so much, ma'am, for coming to our podcast. Like it was a really long due list in my, in my bucket list to do a podcast on the Assamese textile and that industry. So for you, it has finally happened. So thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Manishwini. It's really a pleasure to be a part of this interview. And frankly speaking, I have done a lot of interviews over Zoom, but as a podcast interview, it's one of my first time. So I'm very glad to be a part of this. Yeah. And a small correction. I know you did your introduction extremely well. My 2014 choreography was not my first break. I had breaks when I was very young age. And then my brand name is Tara Bhuyan Couture. Woven Dreams of Assam is just a line that I picked it from one of Mahatma Gandhi's line because that was an inspiration for me.
Oh, sure. So I think the internet needs to, correct their research.
I'm sure there has to be some, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, starting with that only, you were an investment banker before. So how that transition happened from an investment banker to a fashion designer? Like, I think that it must be the toughest decision in your life. So how it happened?
That's pretty much a question that I get often, and I'm very happy to answer that for you. It was not a very tough decision. It's just that I just followed my energy, the flow of the energy. Yes, I was a banker for a very long time. Since I left home, Assam, I did my education in finance. Although I got through many good fashion technology schools at that time, but fashion was not appropriately taken. The perspective of fashion was very wrong in the world itself. The name was not the best at that time. I'm talking about the 90s. So yes, I did a lot of banking throughout my life. It was a cushy job. I worked for the best top world-known companies, top 5 companies in the world, and then ended up working, getting hired and headhunted by one of the leading banks of North America. So I worked with them for 21 long years. And after that, I decided in January of 2019, I was doing my fashion line, trying to come up with my brand. I didn't launch my brand until then, but I was working also with that bank as well as my fashion line. But eventually, I had to stop somewhere and make a decision that yes, I have to pursue what I have dreamed all my life. So it was not a very tough decision. But yes, coming from a cushy background, that was a lot of adjustment, not little, a lot of adjustment. But I always give 200% of wherever I worked, whether it's my own brand or whether it's a banking industry. I give my full 200% focus on each of my jobs.
And also, do you think that in such a kind of profession like fashion designing, uh, to have a backup plan is very important?
Absolutely. If I wouldn't have listened to my parents when I was 17 and I was selected as one of the models with big movie stars, movie celebrities at that time in Mumbai by one of the most renowned fashion designer, Eri. And I actually wanted to then got into styling as my hobby and choreographing a lot of fashion shows around that age, like 17 and 18. Won a lot of choreography competitions around inter-college competitions in Mumbai, which was very tough at that time. Without any background on fashion. If I would have taken my fashion line seriously and I wanted to open a brand, and would I have been successful? Yes, I might have been because of my passion, but financial backup is a must. Without a healthy financial balance on your account, or if you have great investors to back up your investment towards your business, any kind of business, not just fashion, I think it's a wrong decision. I'm glad that I listened to my parents to pursue my studies in finance and got into the financial grounds, which got me very strong over the years and actually has backed up until now whatever I've done. And my first seed in capital was helped by my husband and myself both together, who that was the biggest help. Like finance is needed on every business, no matter what. And that if you can fall back, if you have a fallback, yes, go ahead. If you don't have a fallback, first create a fallback, a backup, as you said correctly, and go ahead with your plans.
Yeah. And now talking about the history of, Assamese textile. I think by now, of course, many of the, people in the country know about Assamese textiles and the fabrics. But most of the people, I think in Assam also, they don't know about the history of this Assamese textile. So could you take us to the history of that?
I will definitely. Of course, we all know Muga, Eri, Pat is mulberry silk. But Eri and Muga are our main silks, right? Which we all know the history of how it's the thread is taken out from a cocoon, or that history I don't have to repeat. But yes, we started with medieval age because clothing is any human primary need. Without clothing, we don't go out, right?
Yeah.
So clothing was a necessity. The necessity started whenever Stone Age after Stone Age, the medieval age comes. So people had to take out threads from somewhere and weave this. They used to use animal skin. And then now, slowly in the medieval age, how Assamese textile, they started with Surya, Thuti, which is normally worn by male. That was the first cloth they came up with. Then, of course, thereafter, I'm going to go short in this. From the Surya comes the Mekhela for the women, isn't it? We wanted to cover. So Mekhela used to start from here to cover our main parts of the female body, and Surya for the male body. So that's how it started in medieval age, and that's how we went into Ghuri. Ghuri mane, meaning it is a round skirt. It is worn by Gujarat, any country, any state in India you see. A ghuri is a skirt worn for any of the occasions. It can be a lehenga, but ours is mekhela, which was the ghuri, which was used for bihu dancers. When we started with bihu dancing, ghuri was used. Okay, so that time the mekhelas used to go round like a lehenga. And then I'm just going through Seleng. Seleng Sador. Seleng Sador is something that the groom uses nowadays is a thin, like a riha. It's a thin sador, like a riha, but normally used in our weddings by the grooms nowadays. Selling sador we call, and riha by the brides. So from the riha came sador, the chadar that we use normally, and now it's called mekhela chadar. The set came, so it is like a improvisation. Then came the eri chadar. People knew that eri chadar can be worn in summer as well as winter. We don't have very harsh winters like North America or any other European countries like the West.
Yeah.
So eri chadar used to give the same, the required amount of warmth that is required for winter season, and that's how eri sadar came into weaving. And then of course the rest is motifs. People started decorating. They used to take, like now also I love the Boro designer, the Boro weavers. They come up, they are so sweet. When they come to for weaving, if they see an animal or a bird, they said, I have seen this animal, can I just put that? That is the concept of a motif originally. But now I still go, if you have seen my designs, I rarely go with modern motifs. I fall back on my traditional motifs of hinkap, gauze, core design. Those are such beautiful motifs. And even in the 15th century Ahom kingdom, those motifs were originally back from that kind of era. And it's still going. Yes, I make it look more modern, but I still fall back at the roots of our original motifs. I rarely use, if I don't have to use it, I don't like to use it, but I fall back into those motifs, and those are beautiful. And now mekhela chadars have come, then kurtas have come, shirts have come, muga shirts have come. So many varieties have come. See, from where the mekhela was worn and the dhuti was worn to the transformation. I think it's a positive transformation towards getting our products popular in the market. I think this transformation and change is required. In 2018, when I did this change in the world, I think it was accepted very well. They understood, they can relate to the products that I showed. And Purely in Assam Silk was my debut show in Australia. So Assam textile goes way up to medieval age, when we, from the necessity of our clothes to now a fashion line in the world, one of the hottest fashion line in the world, I would say.
So my next question was related to that only. So I was just going to say that what's the place of Assamese textile in, at least in the Indian fashion industry? I think it had been overlooked from, centuries, but what's today, how the fashion industry looks at Assamese textiles?
Absolutely, amazingly, I think it's doing very well right now. Yes, it was underrated, not accepted for whatever reason. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe it was not explored enough. We have great designers, but much prior to me, who was in the business in 30 years. Maybe it was providing to clientele only restricted to Assam. I think it didn't come out too much. So, as I mentioned in my earlier question, that my first debut in Australia, in Sydney, it was done in pure Assam silk, all of my outfits. There were 20 garments, and all 20 garments, including what I wore, was pure Assam silk. It was a sold out show, first of all. It was one of the biggest shows I have ever done till date. And there was an exhibition. I was a stall given by me, and it was purely on Boro weaving, Assam silk, and Muga, and some Eri saris. I was sold out 100%.
Wow.
And not even one client was Assamese in that Sydney show.
Oh, that's great.
So that gave me the pulse of what I want to do. That gave me the confidence that what presence Assam silk or Assam cottons or our Boro weaves have got, we did not have any clue. It was a trial and error by me. I knew I will invest some money, but that particular day completely boosted my energy. And I knew that this is what I'm going to do. This is my job. My role is to be an ambassador to promote Assam Silk. And right now, I would say in the Indian market and the global market, Assam Silk is doing very, very well. It is a proof because I got a call from Delhi Times Fashion Week. I got a call from so many fashion weeks in India, New York Fashion Week, which is after me to give a show because I can't do in the spring show. They've invited me for the fall show with Naeem Khan and Nicole Kidman as a showstoppers. Those are the
When is it?
client. It's New York Fashion Week,
No, ma'am.
and
Like when it is?
it is going to be September 9th to 12th. I have not committed, but I
Oh,
have to commit it because it was supposed to be in February. I cannot do it. It's not possible. So they want to see my silk. So you can see the urge of the people, how the person, when he called me, I'm telling you in actual, when he called me and I said like, oh, I'm calling for New York Fashion Week from this particular runway. And Naeem Khan and Nicole Kidman were the last, and they are still continuing with the show. Would you like? So why did you call me? Why did you invite me? I saw some of your outfits, he said, on LA Fashion Week. It was a smaller show compared to what New York Fashion Week will offer. And I said, what did you say? What did you see there? Your garments are completely different to anybody else in the world. So the garment spoke by itself. I didn't have to do anything. The garments, the textile, the richness of Assam silk spoke by itself.
absolutely. And I always think that, our Assamese culture itself is, I think most unexplored. Till now, also, I think is unexplored mostly because I think our people really don't promote it that way. So thanks to people like you who are promoting it in the, best possible way. And my question was
Best
related to that. Yeah. So you also mentioned about that only, that our Assamese textile is very unique to any other things in the world. So could you tell me
great.
how it's distinctive?
As I had mentioned in the earlier one, the moment I do all kinds of garments, our niche of Taravmia Couture, our team produces all kinds of wedding attires, not even for bridals and grooms, whole wedding trousseaux, and for wedding guests. We offer that service at all times. Okay. So whenever my displays in my studio in Toronto or in Delhi, whenever there is a display, I do 50% displays of my mannequins in a Zardozi, like a common one, but my style of a lehenga or an Assamese lehenga or something, Assamese sari or whatever. The only choice the brides do is falling on that my Assam silk. Then I ask them every time, why that is more glamorous. The other one is more glamour. It's more rich. Why did you choose this? So this is something different. This is what I would like to wear. I want to be unique as a bride. I know nobody else in the wedding will have this material other than me and my family. And the richness. They always comment on the richness of our textile and how the hand-woven silk, so intricately done by our weavers, so beautiful done by them. Even the saris and mekhla chadars, so many of my non-Assamese clients, 90% of my clients are non-Assamese. And all of them have worn mekhla chadar either in their son or their daughter's reception. The moms and their mashis. And so this speaks a lot about our textile. They never seen something and they want to try out. And once they try out, they are all my repeat customers. I have built a customer base very quickly in the last 4 years around the world, especially in US, UK, Australia, and India. I think these clients that I formed in 2019 are all repeat. Most of my customers are repeat. Why they fall back? There has to be something which speaks by itself. That's Assam Silk. I do not want to take the credit of Tara Bhuyan Couture here because of one reason. is I did not weave those clothes. Those textiles were woven by our weavers.
Absolutely. And yeah, actually, if you see most of the, weavers in Assam, they are women only. Like for centuries, they had been weaving Assamese clothes and Assamese fabrics. So, but why is it till now they haven't got the place that they deserved? Why can't they, expand their businesses?
I would say when I walked into this market and I promised myself I will open my own brand in 2019 after my successful shows in 2018, a lot of people told me that you are taking a step without taking the pulse, the real pulse of the market. In India, nobody will accept. Maybe Australia has accepted it. Maybe America might be accepting your products, but India will never accept your products. Because this is a dying art, you won't get weavers. The weavers, the male weavers who was working originally, they have become delivery persons for so many things, so many industries, so many big industries nowadays needs delivery persons, and they were paying higher than what they are getting in weaving. So the attraction was more towards the city than to be in the village and doing whatever. And it's not their fault. It's a survival. It's their family. Everybody has to look into it. Every person in this world, right?
Yeah.
So it is a dying art you're going into. And this won't be accepted in India. Nobody has accepted Assam silk or Assam cotton. But I still believed in my dreams. I still believed in my passion. And I did not hear, I took their advices, but I did not apply. I only applied whatever is required to be applied at that time because I wanted to go head on with what I wanted to do. I focused 200%, as I said earlier, into what I wanted to do. I gave up my job in 2019 and I focused in developing and upgrading the weavers. So, coming back to your question, why women weavers are more? Because the males started going towards the city, slowly leaving their weaving job and giving their job to the women who were in the house looking after the household. They didn't have to, a lot of these people, households have their own looms, and a lot of the people go to the owner's loom, the industry or whatever, the small scale industry, and they just have to walk down. So these women have to take care of their household and also could do their weaving in shifts or from their home. So it made it easier for them to work, and it has been happening for the last 20 years. It's not now. So this transition is happening, and slowly this art is dying, and nobody's ordering materials, or it's only sufficing to the people of Assam. So that is not enough for an industry to grow. You go to any other state in UP, in Banaras, in Gujarat, they have loads and loads of the small scale industries and growing in tremendous amount, all not only in India, around the world. Banarasi saris, hand woven, textile, powerloom woven, doesn't really matter. The whole industry as a whole is advertised properly. It is explored and put in the right places. So what happened then is I was invited to Chennai by one of the biggest exhibitors. It was done in a very grand scale. I'm not allowed to take their names. It was a private exhibition done at a very exclusive scale. What happened? There was top 10 designers, you can say. I do not want to name, but mine was the smallest stall. At least they gave me a stall, and I thought I will never get one. I got the smallest stall, but Manashwini, it was the busiest stall. Mine, they were waiting in the line to see my garments. I had 20 garments. Definitely all got sold. But the point is, why was mine the busiest stall? Because people did not see that kind of fabric. Everybody walking in And in fact, the Tamil Nadu chief minister himself visited my stall that day
Wow.
with a celebrity called Kajol Verma, who has done many Bollywood films with Ajay Devgan and everyone. So she herself bought a stole from me, an Eri stole from me. So these are pure examples that I'm giving you, live, pure example, a real example of how appreciative and how much an industry like ours, a small scale industry, can grow. My weavers, I had one weaver to start with. Now I'm happy to say I have 30 weavers. So, and plus I outsource a lot, not only from my weavers, because we have so much of a demand that I have to get it outsourced from other people, other weavers, to get my supply in continuation. Why not? Why not? We want this, all jointly want this industry to grow. Yes, there is competition in the market, but it's a very healthy competition. And I think this competition is required to grow our industry, which has provided financial gains to a lot of the women weavers also, even during COVID.
Yeah, actually.
Yes, women are, there is a lot of women weavers, and I love women weavers. Why? Is I'm not a male chauvinist or something. I really treat male, but female women weavers are very good in detailing. That's what I've seen.
They
Maybe
have
not as
good
fast as the
patience.
men weaver. The men weavers are very fast.
Yeah.
Once you put a man weaver, they're very fast in doing. And yes, if you want production in a bigger scale, I would employ male weavers. But a woman weaver, if I want something more intricately done, I use the potential of the woman weaver, because something to be intricately done, detail, finishing, they are very, very good at it. But the male weavers, I normally use the potential of their fastness, and yes, they do complete all my work with before the deadline. So I'm equally using the potential of both kinds of weavers here.
Absolutely. And I think little bit of support from the government is important, to upscale this kind of ventures for women. At least I think that women can really do very good, far good than what it is now in terms of the fashion industry. So it should happen quickly as soon as possible. Okay, so
Yes, absolutely, Manushwini. I agree to that, and I think government now is really promoting some textile to the biggest length as possible. And yes, I'm doing it on my own to promote, but I am not, but that's my business too. So
yeah.
yeah, it is a business that I have to carry forward, and I want to carry forward to my daughters or whoever wants to continue in future, because this thing is so beautiful. This textile of ours is so beautiful that it needs at least 30 years into the business to really get the popularity. One person did ask me in a very popular celebrity wedding recently in January, December actually, in a wedding in Delhi, that when I walked in with a white mekhla chadar, and three of the most famous stylists in India came forward to me and, are you wearing a mekhla chadar? I said, yes. I said, oh my God, I love this. I love this. Can I ever style you? I said, you don't have to style me. I'm not a model. I'm a designer. So I know. But immediately after, when I moved into a regular crowd out of the fashion field, oh, what they all came and asked me, what are you wearing? I said, it's a mekhla chadar. Where do you get them? This is the question they asked me. Why is it not popular? See, these are the questions I have to face on a
Yeah.
normal, not from a fashion industry. People know a lot, but outside of fashion, the regular people who loves to wear this type of clothing, they are asking these type of questions. So yes, we need to get this product much more popular.
Okay. Yeah. So my next question is that how you perceive the idea of starting Woven Dreams of Assam? Like, what was the one thing?
Tara Bhuyan Couture.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brand name is under my name,
Hmm.
and that's how I reviewed it. And Woven Dreams of Assam is just that Mahatma Gandhi had a dream,
Hmm.
and of the Assamese women weaving dreams in their looms. So that's the punchline that I got, and that's a motivation when I see in all my brown bags when I give it to clients, when they carry that bag and I see that bag outside with them, that the word Assam itself is like so motivating and so inspirational for me because I'm born and brought up and I'm Ohomia. So every time I see somebody going out with that bag, that brown bag, I wanted to show it to you if I have one here. I do not know. Maybe I might if I'm lucky. Can I just show it to you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
One second.
Please.
Put it in the video. I do not have the best bag here, unfortunately. It is something that I got very quickly. But I want to show, I'm proud of the word Assam. Even there we can see here. Can you see?
Okay.
It's Women Dreams of Assam. So that's my signature. So this is what I wanted to show every client who walks out with that bag, and I feel that they bought a piece of Assam with them.
Absolutely.
Means a part of that money has gone to one of the weavers, not only me, not only to my team in Delhi, not only my karigars who has also equal contribution as the weavers because they work on it, but also a big chunk of it has gone to the weavers. So every time that bag goes out, I feel proud that a bit of it, whatever I could, has gone to Assam. So coming to your question, I think the question was, what was your question
How
again?
you started, how you planned and started your startup?
Yeah. As I said already, it was my passion that led me to, and I took advices of a lot of people, and a lot of people were negative about me starting this and living a very cushy job. But I believed in my dreams, and I really, it is a common statement that I hear from everybody. But now, at that time, I thought everybody is trying to do that fashion line of, you know, I believe in my dream, and I believe I followed my passion and my dream. But any successful celebrity you go to, that line now I know is not a fashion line. That is truly said. It means a lot. That means I did follow my dream. I followed my passion and I gave my 200% to make it where it comes now. And I have a long years to go. We are just starting now. It's just the roots. We are still the sprouts have not come out yet. I'm waiting for the sprouts to come out, and then I can say that, okay, I wanted to achieve this and further. Your bars of expectation keeps on. So startup or any other business, a backup, a financial backup is a must from yourself or from your family or from wherever, but try to do without a loan initially, because that's when you know that your money is going in and you have to earn that money back. That is a commitment to yourself. That's very important. And my startup was the same. I took one tailor, I took one weaver, I trained that weaver, I trained that tailor, and we started.
Okay, it
And
was a
from
team
there
of
on,
3 members actually.
3 members.
Oh my.
Absolutely 3 members. And the tailor was also taken from nobody's recommendation. I was walking in the market, nobody was giving me a tailor, nobody was helping me at that time. I was walking to where I should work, and I just grabbed hold of a tailor who was in the side road of Gurgaon. And I talked to him, do you want to work with me? I do not know about his work. I have no idea. And he promptly said, Yes. So then I started with my own garments and let me see how he works. And I molded him. And that's my journey started. Then he said, like, we should take this. You know, these people are still loyal to me. And now we have a team of 25 in Delhi and a big team in Assam. So we are growing and expanding as we speak.
That's great. Actually, I was not expecting that you had started with 3 members. Actually,
3
that's
members,
great.
including me.
Okay. So that's really appreciable. And yeah,
Yeah.
so let us wind up this whole podcast. So thank you so much, ma'am, for again coming on here. And any advice you would like to give to the young generation of Assam, if someone wants to, fulfill their dreams in fashion industry or whatever?
Again, I'm nobody to advise here, Manishwini. It is part of what we are growing as a human. I think we have to find out our own strengths. That is the biggest search you can do, finding out your own strength. A lot of people are in a rush to follow their dreams. Even I was when I was 17, and I did not want to listen to anybody but to go into fashion. Yes, that was my passion, of course, but did I have the right tools to start at that time? Did I have the right background to start at that time? I might have, I don't know. It's not easy. If I look back, I do not regret of what I have done. I did the right thing at the right time, I think. And also this transition towards my business as becoming an entrepreneur was also taken at the right time, I feel. The timing was right. My and it's destiny also. If you are really head bent to do something, I think 80% of your focus should be on towards that journey, and the rest 20% is just laid. The stones are automatically laid. I got a lot of help from the universe, I would say, that helped me do this business to where I am now, and still counting on it. I think every youth should not be in a rush, should experience their life and their working life, build up a background by themselves. And with that background, I think the backup, they have the whole life to fulfill their dreams. I am fulfilling not only my dreams, my passion, but I'm still working towards that goal of my dream. My dream is just started. So it's yet to be fulfilled. So you can start at any time. There is no rush that you have to become an entrepreneur at 17 or 18. You have your life, go through your experience, go learn from the mistakes, and take one step at a time. And that time that you take is the right time, always.
Yeah, absolutely.
And find the strength in yourself. Only through mistakes you find your strength. Only through work experience you find your strength. And give 200% on no matter what you do. Even if you're working on a call center, if you're working now, Manashwini, you yourself, you're doing so well, right?
Thank you so much.
So if you do not give your 200%, if you did not pursue me, that small email or letter that you sent me, that is part of your hard work. And because I get such letters, very few interviews I've accepted so quickly, believe me. But the passion I have seen behind the words that you have written, and that is what is called hard work, I think. If you have the passion, people do accept things as they are and move you forward.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming, actually. Okay, so we are running out of time. So let us wind up this podcast. And thank you so much, and wish you all the successes in the universe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And you too.